I'm Matthew Stubblefield, and I've spent 20 plus years helping companies figure out what to build next. In that time, I've watched a lot of good teams make the same expensive mistake. They treat what should we build like an engineering problem. Ship something, watch the data, iterate, and the best bet still doesn't move. They're plenty smart. Building something and knowing what's worth building are just two different skills, and almost nobody is set up for the second one. That's the problem I built Fieldway to solve. Give me a few minutes and I'll show you how. This is the Fieldway System. Here's the usual way to get help answering the question, what do we build next? You buy someone's time, and they're good, and the answer might be good, but you're taking it on trust. The method is theirs, the reasoning stays in their head, and when the engagement ends, you've got a deck and a memory. The thinking walks out the door with them. You can see the pattern here. A team that's great at building with no reliable way to know what to build, so they fall back on what works everywhere else. Ship it, watch the data, iterate. The trouble is telemetry only tells you what people did, never why. And when engagement's thin, there's nothing to read at all. The last few bets might ship clean, but move nothing. Something changed underneath all of this. Building got cheap. With AI, a lean team ships fast, but knowing what to build didn't get any easier, so the bottleneck moved from execution to direction. And here's the part that catches people. Now, everything you ask says yes. The model says yes. Your advisors nod. Your team is already excited. But a yes that costs nothing to give is worth about that much, because nobody in the room has anything on the line. The bill still comes. It just comes later, as the build that failed. So here's the question I'd put to you. What if the thinking stayed? Not a brain you rent for a few weeks, a system, a repeatable way to take a hard question, answer it with rigor, and keep it current as the ground shifts. A living answer you own instead of a deck in a drive. The Fieldway system runs in 3 stages, and you can come in at any one of them. Research answers the question once. Intelligence keeps answering it as the world moves. And strategy turns the evidence into a direction you can act on. Answer it once, keep it current, decide what to do. Let me take those one at a time. Research is a focused one-time engagement around a single hard question, and you get 3 things. The full corpus, every source and thread organized, so you can check my work and go deeper anywhere. A synthesized summary, what it says, what conflicts, and what I treat with caution, and a recording of me walking you through it, what mattered, what surprised me, what I'd ignore, not a document from a stranger for you to decode alone. It's the lowest commitment way to work with me, and it's where most people should start. Research is a photograph. Intelligence is a live feed. The world doesn't hold still after you get your answer. New documents land, competitors move, so intelligence keeps the answer current, a living deliverable, plus a short note each cycle on what changed and what needs your eyes. The research behind your next bet never goes stale. And when the question's a big one, what do we build? Which marks do we bet on? Strategy turns the evidence into a direction your team can act on. Behavioral personas your designers can actually design for, a problem inventory, a prioritized roadmap, every item tracing back to a real problem. And when the evidence says so, I'll give you a clear recommendation on what not to build. Now, one honest note here, this is not going to let you estimate the work yet. Nobody can estimate a theme. What it does is give your team everything they need to start writing it. I want to step away from the slides for a second because this next part is super important. You might be wondering, why a system and not just me? Here's the honest answer, and it's 3 things. First, the system shows the work. Same method every time, it's documented, and the corpus is yours. So you're not taking the answer on faith. You can see how it was reached. The judgment makes it right. That's the read on what actually matters in the pile and the willingness to look you in the eye and tell you if the math doesn't work. And the name answers for it. Because here's the thing about a free tool. It has no reputation to lose when it's wrong. That's exactly why its yes is worth nothing. Mine isn't free because someone has to be accountable for the call. I'll be honest with you. If you got on a call and asked me whether your idea was any good, I'd probably give you a cheap yes too. That's why I don't answer from the hip. I go and do the work first. Let me show you what it looks like in practice. Tallow, a 10-year-old career platform, wanted to reach an audience they'd never served, and they'd been going in circles internally for months. We ran the system. About 2 weeks later, they had a researched path forward, 2 behavioral personas, 15 problems across 6 themes, and a go to market. They were shipping a month after that, and what they shipped landed. And there was a second bet they were already chasing. In an afternoon, the research showed why it wouldn't pay off. They wound it down and actually put that energy where it would work. So here's what I'd leave you with. You don't have to commit to anything big to find out if this is real. Bring me one question, the one with real money writing on it, and tell me what it costs you to get it wrong. We'll start there, and if Fieldway isn't the right call for you, I'll tell you that too. The system shows the work. The judgment makes it right, and my name is on the answer. I'm Matthew. The link to reach me is right here. Let's talk.